Ricotta cheesecake is an Italian cheesecake recipe that is now an Argentine classic. Ricotta cheesecake has lemon but no cream cheese, so it's a bit different from most cheesecakes in the United States. But it's just as delicious, and because it doesn't need a water bath, it's easy to make. If you're looking for a new cheesecake recipe, try this one. This ricotta cheesecake, like many other Argentine desserts, uses a type of dough called masa frolla. It's a no-roll shortcrust pastry that's used to make not only pasta frolla, but also many other Argentine desserts. It's lemony, buttery, soft, crumbly, and absolutely delicious. I already did a video on this no-roll pie crust, so you will find the link in the description box. For this ricotta cheesecake, you will need half of one dough recipe, about 300 grams, pressed into a 9-inch pie plate that has been lightly greased with butter. But don't throw away the other half of the dough, you'll need it for the topping. Let's start this ricotta cheesecake recipe, assuming that you've already pressed your dough into the pie plate. So the base of my ricotta cheesecake, my torta or Tarta de Ricota, is done. I reserved the leftover dough, about half of the dough, a little more than half of the dough is in the base. Now it's time for the filling. So for the filling, the original recipe calls for 500 grams of ricotta cheese, but I only have 454, so that's what I'm going to use. It's so close, it's not worth buying more of ricotta cheese just for under 50 grams. So in goes the ricotta cheese. 180 grams of sugar. 2 eggs. 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. And usually the Sicilian version and the Argentine version uses lemon in the filling, but I already have lemon in the dough, so I wanted to do something different. And I was watching a cooking show from Argentina called Cocineros Argentinos, and they were talking about sfogliatella, which is Italian Americans call it a lobster tail, and if my understanding is correct, a lot of times it's filled with the ricotta filling that has orange. So I said, why not make my ricotta cheesecake a citrus cheesecake? So I'm going to add half a teaspoon of orange extract along with a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract and the zest of 1 small navel orange, so 1 teaspoon. Now I'm going to mix together. If you have a hand mixer, you could use that, but I don't feel like dirtying something else, so I'm just going to mix it by hand. So now my filling is mixed. All I'm going to do is simply pour it into the base. So now the filling is in the cake. Now time for the topping. Traditionally in Argentina, you would take the leftover dough and you would roll it out and then you put it on top. You could do that, but honestly this is better, I think. A lot easier. Just take the leftover dough and crumble it over the top like this with your fingers. Of course you want the crumbles to be close together so that they will blend together to form a somewhat cohesive top. But so this pie, this ricotta cheesecake is very forgiving. Don't have to roll anything out. This does not need a water bath either. It's another good thing. I'm just using a normal pie plate. If you wanted to, you could roll out the dough, and instead of doing a solid top, you could do a lattice top. You can do a lot of things with this. Like I said, it's very traditional to do lemon, but I'm doing orange because I have lemon in the dough. What I have also seen is raisins. You could do raisins in this. I've never tried that because I'm not a big raisin person, but you could. I've seen layers of jam, like blackberry jam or something like that on the bottom. I think that would be good. So very versatile. Or dulce de leche, which is a milk caramel. I've seen that on the bottom layer as well. Very versatile, but honestly, sometimes I think simpler is better. Once the top layer of dough is on the ricotta cheesecake, bake at 350 for 50 to 55 minutes. For more information about Argentine recipes and Southern food, please visit my website, parnellthechef.com. Just came out. It was in at 350 for 52 and a half minutes. Although you could definitely eat it plain, if you want to dust it with powdered sugar, make sure that it's cool completely before you put on the powdered sugar. So my ricotta cheesecake is done. It's completely cool now at 4 o'clock in the morning, of course. You could eat it like this. I have eaten it like this before and it's delicious. But what you see almost always is that in Argentina, this, as they call it, either Torta de Ricota or Tarta de Ricota, it's a matter of contention. This ricotta cheesecake is almost always covered with powdered sugar. So what I have here is I have some powdered sugar and I have a small strainer, and I'm going to put the powdered sugar into the small strainer and just lightly dust it over my ricotta cheesecake. I have some newspaper down on the counter to make cleanup easier. I know it might be kind of distracting, but it's going to make cleanup a lot easier. So, I will go back and tell you how much I used. This is done, but if you're sprinkling powdered sugar over something, it's very difficult to do so neatly. What I recommend doing is putting something underneath it so that you're not afraid to go over the edge a little bit. Are you wasting some of it? Yes, but trying to get it only on top of the cake is very difficult. If you have a flour sifter, I'm sure you could use that. But mine is buried somewhere, so I am doing this. Some of the crumb topping probably will poke through. Like I said earlier in the video, usually the ricotta cheesecake, it has a solid top and it's very smooth on top. But since I chose not to do that, it's not going to be perfectly solid top. So when this is done, I will just clean up the edges. That will bring you back. So I finished dusting the top with powdered sugar. I used 45 grams, which is, I'm guessing, about 1/3 of a cup. So now I have a small bit of paper towel, slightly wet. I'm just going to clean off the edge. Nice, now using a dry towel, just completely clean off the edge. Do not feel obligated to do this, but it does look really nice, I think. after a while, tear off another new piece, because if you drag the paper towel around too much or too far around the edge, you will start dragging leftover powdered sugar on the edge. So there. Now, very carefully, I'm going to lift this up, put it off to the side for a moment. There is my Torta or Tarta de Ricota, my ricotta cheesecake. And then my ricotta cheesecake was done. I wanted to make sure that I included both photos and videos of the finished product because honestly, I felt like it was a bit hard to photograph. I think that the really white powdered sugar reflected a lot of the light, so it was hard to get a lot of the detail. However, I still think that you can see that it was absolutely delicious. The combination of citrus, the lemon in the dough and the orange in the filling, along with the butter in the crust and the ricotta itself, was amazing. The powdered sugar on top added a bit of extra sweetness, which was nice, but I've had it without powdered sugar in the past and it was still really good. Honestly, I think the key to this ricotta cheesecake is having a good amount of citrus in the background, both in the filling and in the crust. If you make sure to have a bit of crust on the top in every bite, it'll be good. Although I use 1 teaspoon of orange zest along with half a teaspoon of orange extract and a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract in the filling, next time I'll probably just do 1 teaspoon of orange zest and 1 teaspoon of orange extract and leave out the vanilla altogether. I think that increasing the orange just a little bit more would really amplify the citrus, since I think that the citrus in the background is what really makes this ricotta cheesecake phenomenal. That's the way I should do it. Also, as with my other Argentine desserts, this ricotta cheesecake has a texture that is just as, if not even more impressive than the flavor combination. The soft yet crumbly crust on both the bottom and the top surrounds a ricotta filling that's light, pillowy, and airy. The texture is very different from the heaviness of a normal American cheesecake, so if you're looking for a lighter cheesecake, this is it. If you've come this far in my Argentine dessert series without making anything, honestly I think that this is the one that you should probably make. It doesn't require dulce de leche or dulce de membrillo, so the ingredients should be pretty easy to find for most people in the United States. Although I think that this is a pretty easy recipe, I do have one word of caution. If instead of crumbling the dough on top, you decide to roll it out and put a solid layer on top, you're going to have to add a bit more cornstarch, because not as much of the moisture in the ricotta will have a chance to evaporate during the baking process. However, like I said, this ricotta cheesecake is easy, delicious, light, and citrusy, so if you're looking for an easy cheesecake recipe that doesn't need a water bath, this is it. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Also, for more information about Argentine recipes and Southern recipes, please visit my website, parnellthechef.com. And don't forget to follow me on social media. I'm most active on Instagram and Twitter, so if you post a photo of one of my recipes there, please let me know. I'm trying to decide between 2 hashtags, HeyP and HeyChefParnell, to identify the photos of my recipes made by followers. So stay tuned for more. Once again, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye!